The camera can do a fairly good job. I'll let me hit it. Good morning. Oh, good. Everybody's here this morning. And I just want to mention that we're going to try to make the so you can look at that first class that had the big long warm. I want to put a moving warm up, more of an easier kind of warm up than just that video today. So where we'll start is thank yourself for making it into this morning class. Thank you. One of them that we've been doing is this very gentle rocking on the heels and toes and swinging of the arms. And as you swing forward, there's a little bit of a reach, so you can feel that stretch into this area in the upper back. And you can feel this pumping through the feet, pumping energy from the first point on the kidney channel, on the bottom of the foot, and percolating that energy all the way up to the top of the kidney channel, and then through the internal channels to the brain and ears, hair. So you can have a little pause at the end of that stretch. And you can do this with 4 swings or 3 swings, inhaling, and then 3 or 4 swings as you exhale. Add on 1 more swing on the exhale. So this would be 3 and 4, or 4 and 5. Same thing, when you come back, let those arms go back and then give them a little bit of a reach back. This can affect so many joint, muscle, ligaments, tendons so easily in the body. When we talked about this the other time, don't worry about losing your balance. This is great practice. If you do lose your balance, you can just step and go, oh, I didn't fall down. How nice. If you're practicing at home and you have some worries about your balance, maybe practice near a chair or a couch so you can be swinging and you can just reach out. Things to talk about with balance. You start to have to. And then today we'll take that right hand, come across, and up to the side as the left movement called waving hands like clouds. And here again, you can take it all the way down to this with in that left foot, pumping it up to the top channel, to the brain. Right toes. You get this nice energy up and down through the whole body. And then with a little bit of strengthening, that bottom hand into the fist. Open again, arm into the chest. automatically we're getting a nice relaxing the knee, strengthening the hips. Just a little rotation. Lets you rotate through the hip, rotate through the shoulder. We've got all this nice twisting action in spine. Yes. You're going to move anything with the toe. So disconnected. When the heel's down, we're still feeling a very strong connection through the foot. We talk about through the foot up to the face, to the hand, from the hand. Get this whole nice movement of energy through all the channels, all the ligaments and tendons, and then they say the Tai Chi to the level of the bones. We're training the bones, and there's real to prevent osteoporosis and osteopenia. And we'll take the two hands and go out, in. So if we bring the two hands up, this is the beginning of a practice that I taught years ago in the class. It was called 5 rings. So we actually had brass rings in the hands, holding with the finger. So you have a little bit of a feeling of gripping here. Which helps to stimulate and checks out your hands and wrists. So we come down, we get a little stretch and a little release. Same opening that we use with our Tai Chi as the hands come back down. Tuck the chin, and tuck through the cups. Open the knees, let the weight go back to the heel. So from the foot coming all the way up to the face, all the way into the fingers, palm, and then guiding all of that energy back down and connecting the earth. So the next part is coming up. Drawing the hands in, turning the palms more upward as we press up from the legs through the body to the palms. And then turn the fingers inward and look towards the fingers. Out and around. Back to thumb and fingers, yin and yang. Nice breath, nice sink, release. In, breath out, and up into that space, to the heavens, all the way around. And sink. Come out to the sides, palms are down. And rotate in a circle forward, upward, and from heel, coccyx, all the way up into the head. And then we go the reverse, all the way around. Let the chin drop into the chest. And then once more, breath out, breath in. Breath out, breath in. There's little stretches out through the fingers, out through the back, the low back. Once more around. And this time we'll come all the way up again. Big triangle from foot to foot, fingers. And then guide all this heavenly chi right down through the top of the head. Energizing the brain, the sense organs as we go past the third eye. All the glandulars in the neck, the heart, internal organs, stomach, intestine, large and small. And pause. Think, tuck. Come up. Bring the hips, touching. You get this optical illusion up above, little sausage fingers in between sometimes. All the way down. This time we're going to go all the way down. Bring the palms to the outside and go out. Palms are up. Elongate from coccyx up through the top of the head. Down, cross, and back up. And sink. Nice breath in and out. We go all the way up again. Round. Bracing in water from your Tai Chi form, with the palms now turning out, coming out again to the sides. Nice breath in and out. Breath in, we're going to turn to the right. Comfortable, easy stretch as you turn to the right. Back to center. Breath in. To the left, breath out. Back to center. And down. Cross hands. In, out, long breath out. Touch and turn, straighten through the legs, to the sides, palms up. Lean to the right, easy turn. Center, in, breath out to the left. To the center. Down, cross, up. Big triangle. Down the center line. Unlock the knees. Take the two hands and they'll come up. Palms together. Fingertips now turning inward, bringing all that energy into the heart. Send all that extra heart energy out as we lean forward again and send it out to all the corners of the earth. As we come back down, out, and right and left. This is a very easy practice to eventually just begin to feel like, oh, yes, yes, I understand what I'm doing. I'm moving up and down. Get the back of the hands together up here. Oh, that's an interesting stretch. Guiding all that energy back down through the top of the head. The third eye, the upper, the middle, the lower dantian. Covering that lower dantian, feeling the warmth in the hands. This becomes just a pause in a standing meditation. Moving through the knees, coccyx and chin. Release. Walk it up. And as it is a whole practice unto itself, you can thank yourself for doing that practice. Pause before you move on to the next thing in the day. Even if you just did that short practice for 10, 15 minutes, as you can see, the body feels kind of loose, stretched. We're doing things in the shoulders and the chest that we don't usually get to do in our everyday movements, the turning through the waist and the spine. And these are movements then that prevent the body from, well, falling apart too soon. Keeping the spine healthy is the way to keep the whole body healthy. So all these nice gentle turns that we get to do, just very helpful for your circulation. How do the hands feel after doing that? Can you feel a little bit of softness in there? A little bit more limberness in the fingers? Any questions? As I say, after you play with this for a little while on your own, you'll start doing things I didn't include today, where you just come down and go through the legs, come back around, bring the arms all the way up over the top, coming back down and around. And that's really when you start to get the energy internally to move. We were talking about this just earlier, that when you're doing your Tai Chi form, the parts of the form that you know, don't go looking back and trying to say, oh yeah, I'm doing exactly what he's doing. No, you're doing this, and you're doing this, and you're doing your next movement, and then you go, what's next? Oh, yeah. So you keep going back inside. Don't keep looking outside to try to see what other people are doing. Any questions? Anything you want to check on there? So that practice was referred to as the 5 rings. And the 5 rings then were with this idea of the upper, the middle, and the lower dantian, and the hands with Laogong, and the feet with Yongquan. And working all of those systems together energetically. People practicing at home by yourself, take your mask off and breathe. We're just being cautious down here today and making sure that, we're setting good examples. But it frightens me some days when I'm driving in my car and I see somebody driving in their car with their mask on and nobody in the car. And it's like, this is not good, people. This is a time for protection when you're in groups of people, yes. Otherwise, breathe. Walking along my path in the back with my dog, and I see people wearing masks all by themselves, walking in this beautiful part of nature. Nature will take care of us. Trust in her. All right. So with that, let's do a little bit of section 1. And we'll break that down into pieces, and then we'll do all of section 1. That gives us plenty of time then to do some of 2 again, work on pieces of 2. Empty out. No thoughts, no feelings, just this beautiful standing like a stake, like a post. We'll raise the left toes and sink into the foot, pumping up, toes and pumping up. As the hands draw that energy from the earth up into the kidneys, the ears, and the brain. Again, stretch the palms open, then release that stretch, but still feel the connection here at Laogong, the palace of labor. And as the hands float up again, the right foot, and the left hand coming across. Touch to the diagonal, heel and toe, and spin the heel on that right foot. So that right hand ends up here by your pocket. There you go. And this one's nice and round in front, kind of like you're reaching around a tree. Nice. Let's sit back, go low and high, and go low and high. And we'll step again, heel and toe. Spin that back heel. Back with the 2 hands and the foot. Go back with the foot and the hands. Under the elbow. Nice inhalation. And to push. And at push, sink. Just let the body go down. If you were floating in water, there's a little sense of, oh, yeah, I went down in the water a little bit. And we'll go from here back to the beginning. Opening of Tai Chi form. Toe, heel, toe and heel. As energy rises and the energy sinks. Release the fingertips a little more. As the hands float up, turn and embrace the yang. Yang energy here, yin energy here. As we step up, Grasping sparrow's tail left on this nice left diagonal. And sit back, yin yang hand, high and low, low and high. To grasping sparrow's tail right, 4 movements, palm up and down, turn them over, roll back. Turn them over, and press, slide off, breath in, whole body getting the energy down to the feet and from the foot all the way back to the fingers. We'll go to the back corner and back to the front corner as we take that hand and turn it over, and bring it around the handle of the whip and the tip of the whip going out for single whip. Left hand coming in and under, and the foot follows, adjusts. Right hand and foot as we raise hands up, upper hand. So let that shoulder stay back. As the shoulder stays back, the hand extends from the shoulder forward, and the other hand extends. Back. On this press, there's many ways to do press, but one of the interesting things when you're practicing on your own is you can take these 3 fingers and you can come just below the thumb on the wrist. This is the radial artery. And so when you're pressing, you can put those 3 fingers on the pulse and you can listen at another level to your internal energies in practice. And so as you get more and more involved with these practices and you do these practices to both sides, you start looking at what's being done in pulse diagnosis. We've got the large intestine and lung pulse in this first area, the stomach and spleen in another area, the second, and a kidney, or what they might talk about as the division of energy between the upper, the middle, and the lower dantian, the triple heater. So we get these 3 pulses, the superficial and the deeper pulses to feel. So it gives you an opportunity to go with your ring finger. Oh, that's a nice strong pulse. I like that. And that's your intestine. That's a really nice one to feel for because it's a very yang meridian of the body. And the one next to it for the middle finger is the stomach. And that stomach and large intestine are the most yang meridians of the body. So it's real easy each time you're going through this movement of grasping sparrow's tail to kind of go, ring finger, middle finger, index finger, and then go off and clear and come back. It just gives you an opportunity to become more visual of what's going on in your body. And it's interesting, after a while, you start feeling some differences between these pulses. And you kind of go, oh, yeah. So what do I need to be working on? My stomach's been bad lately. So maybe you get into that pulse, and maybe you just vibrate it a little bit with the thought of, there's my belly. Can I make that work a little? Oh, yeah. Ooh. And then with the turn and the twist, now I'm becoming more aware of how to use my body to do my Tai Chi. So many beautiful things you can do as you get deeper and deeper into your practice. So let's go back from the beginning and get up to white crane. Opening. Nice breath in, out, sinking, relaxing. Palms, fingers. Little tingle there. Ooh, yeah, it's starting to come alive. Embracing the young and step up. Grasping sparrow's tail left. A little bit of this feeling, extend and pull, extend and pull. And sit back. And here we are, ward off, palm up and down. Turn over and roll back. And press. So that middle finger can find the stomach pulse, ring finger, that large intestine pulse. And there's the intestine pulse. Oh, here's this intestinal back point. So if I just tuck a little bit more, I can make that connection even deeper with that reminder. Back in to push and sink. It's from sink that you can really push. If you push from here, there's not much. From here, your whole body is pushing. Open and close the diagonal. Single whip. And in and under with that left side. In and under with the right. Just raise hands up and upper hand. Feel that nice little turn and twist. And twist and step. Shoulder. Step back, elbow. Hand over the top and around this beautiful big circle as white crane cools its wings. Try to get these hands on the front side of the body. Don't go back through here. This really gives you a sense of if you push with the two hands, forward, outward, upward, all these different directions. It's that the hand where it's really lively, it's right in here. There's so much strength and action into the hand. So if you keep this a little bit more rounded, you get your back feeling this expanse. So you got it, but you're here. So you get this kind of feeling. Both hands pushing out. Yeah. And then bring, the palms are almost going out and down at the same time. You know, you're in this feeling. So if I were to give you pressure here, you can feel that. If I give you pressure here, simultaneously, where's that coming from, the strength in your body? Somewhere from the middle. You're not doing much, but it's like, but it's boom. Yeah, it's very, very intense inside. And that's what we're looking for, is to find more and more of these places to bring up the energy internally. So you don't just end up doing white crane and going, you feel you're going, and if this was blocking something, if this was blocking something, or blocking both. All right, so that's crane, and we close, and we're back. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so if I had Kevin in this position with grasping sparrow's tail, this is very nice. What I have is control of his leg, control of his body, but if I wanted to get rid of him, there's high and low, right? Or high and low. And he can't hold that balance point at that point. So it looks like a very gentle please, let's not, oh, you want to continue? Boom, he's down and going. Out the door I go. And so that's what yin yang had. This was a move one of my team within the forum saying, so you got to here with them, now what are you going to do with them? You go, what do you mean what am I going to do with them? He says, why don't you get rid of them? Oh, yeah. And that lets you come up and go, you stay there for a minute, okay? How about you? Come on over here and play. And you invite the next person in. Yeah, people who have been experienced in martial arts, who have learned this form said, there's no holes in that form. That form has every thought consideration built into it that would allow you to learn it as meditation and the movement for health, but there's not a movement there that doesn't have its absolute usefulness in its insight. Yeah, it's absolutely true. But that was just one of those holes that one of those teachers filled in. Was, so what are you going to do now? Uh-huh, that's got, listen to him for a while. Strong, push down. And the tread on the bottom of the foot is what? So we're privileged. Oh, power should take us off, okay. Yes, yes. My teacher just dropped in. Yeah. Toe up or heel up. On this one, because it reminds you to get all your weight onto this other foot. And then you have the kicks set up already. Yeah. And there's places in the form where they would say the weighting is 70% on the front foot, 30% on the back. This is called 50-50. This is a thing you don't want to be doing much in Tai Chi, which is why when I set my weight back a little more and I turn that foot out, they would call this 60-40. If you ask me, this is 80-20. There's a lot more weight on this back foot. So what we're going into with brush knee is where you come into brush knee with your weight on your back foot and then go around the knee, brush knee, and strike. But you definitely a line through this back leg, this back side of the body, and then change your weight. And then what we do is we make this pivot, hand and foot. I step through. I stayed back on this back leg. Brush knee and strike. The advantage of staying back is, come turn this way for me. The advantage of staying back here is I can see what's happening. If I land here, I'm giving up a lot of open spaces. But when you stay back there, what you can see, go back to where you begin, what you get to see is, where's the openings? What's changing out here? If you see the opening, then you move through and strike. So you've got time to sit here and go, what's he doing? And most people on this side are going, bam. You saw the opening, you close the space. Yeah, yeah. Why do Tai Chi, that is an amazing martial art, without thinking about the martial art? Because that energizes your body, it energizes your mind, it gets you, all this visualization is happening. So you can be going, oh yeah, here's my stomach, here's my intestine, oh yeah, yeah. But here's a block and a strike. Same way of just intensifying your own practice. All right. So let's go through then these next 3 brush knees as we repeat this part of section 1. Opening. Squeeze, a little expand, stretch. Breath in and breath out. Turn, embrace the yang. And grasping sparrow's tail left. Push, pull, push, pull. Look when push pulls happen. It's through the legs, it's through the knees, it's through the waist. So many nice pieces. And then over they go. And to the ball again. To the diagonal. Palm up and down. Roll back. Press. Pulse. Nice breath in for the whole body and push. To the back corner we go, opening and closing for single whip. As we come around, weight stays back again. And there's the opening for the hand. In and under, in and under. Raise hands up and upper hand. Push, pull, shoulder, elbow as we step back. And in with hand in that beautiful circle for crane. I can see both of my hands easily. And then I close. We go for brush knee. Stay back on that right side for a moment. Around the knee and extend the hand. Slide that left hand up. Play the peepaw. And deflect. And block. Stay back for a moment. And push through. Pivot. Left foot, right hand. Stay back on that left leg. Brush knee and strike. And here we go, one more pivot. Up. Stay back. And push through. And step up and play the peepaw. And here again, this nice feeling out and in, front and back, twist through the waist, and back to center. Nice. So we did talk about this a little bit the other day with when you're going into in and under, raise hands up. The feeling here is a little bit of this, opening through the elbows. A little high, a little low, but opening. So when I'm open here, I'm creating a space to step in and step inside. And I have a hand up here to protect my face. And I have an elbow, and I have a hand that can make a strike. So I've entered into that space of the person with elbow and hand. So I can go in here, and I'm nicely protected. That's why you don't want to turn in this way and go too straight forward. You're leaving all these vital areas open. Going in this way, if I get banged or hit, it's going to be on an elbow or on a hand somewhere. It's not going to make a big difference. On peepaw, as we finish that brush knee, that hand comes up And the feeling is more of closing, closing. Yeah. And if you think about that closing at my elbow and my wrist, ooh, me. She's been working on that movement for the last week. But you have this feeling of closing the hands, slapping the hands together on an arm that's hanging out there. And the other thing that I'd like to share with this is the Coca-Cola machine strike. You're coming up with this hand and it can hit the Coca-Cola machine. You can hit a wall, a door with this part of your hand and you're not going to get hurt. But what it strikes on another person can be something quite significant. So every little piece of every movement in this form has an application on its own. And there's the closing back down. But when you practice with all these internal feelings, you're doing Tai Chi. And I think important to say, you can do all of this in just section 1. I've used this story before, but I'll repeat it. In Japan, with sumo tournaments, sumo wrestlers who had achieved really the highest ranking, they did it with 3 techniques. They didn't have 16 different techniques that they could use all the time. They did it with sometimes just 3 techniques. Unbeatable. So when you're doing this kind of just section 1 practice, don't think that, oh, there's so much more to do. This is it. And if you do it with that awareness and that intention, your Tai Chi starts to take on another life internally that will keep you happy, healthy, and yeah. So I was very fortunate to have some teachers that would go, you want the next move, next move, next move, next move. My last teacher was the one who said, work on that one. And I'd go, but I got it. I get it. And he'd go, yeah, work on it. Polish it. Make it something really special. Really understand why this hand comes up to get to here. And you go, oh, it doesn't even have to just be this kind of, it can be something as big and small and quick or slow as a hand circling around. So those are the things to play with when you do your form. That's why I say here in the group, don't keep looking back to somebody else. Try to stay here, do the movement. Ah, here's the next one, I know that, that's really good. Where am I stuck? Oh. When you practice at home, stay here for the moment. And the body might just go, oh, yeah. And we go into high pat on horse. And this is the next movement after this brush knee and step up and play the peepaw, high pat on horse. So here's the head of the horse. As you feed the horse this lovely handful of oats and carrots. Oh, little horse. I don't think you want to be playing with these big horses anyway, but somewhere up here so you can pat him on the forehead. But as we come around, he wasn't paying attention and we go bam and hit him up between, oh, horse lovers. I love horses, please. But the idea is that I can come through here and it creates this next movement. And to somebody who's standing there, what they see is this, and their eyes go, oh, and the next thing they know, they don't see this next thing coming from below. And that again is high and low, left and right, front and back, all these different ways to combine these movements into your Tai Chi form. So here we are at high pat, as we go down and around into hammer hand. And this left hand reinforces it, or slides off and can block. And if it blocks, it comes down so we can go in. This is just called step up. It's not even called a kick. It's just step up. Nicely hidden away. Parry and punch. Parry and punch. Block and strike. Check that front foot. If this is the left foot's forward, have those toes slightly turned inward. I've seen a couple of times when I wanted to correct the foot, but I'll give you just one overall. The front foot will be turned in and the back foot turned out, and not too wide. You want about a space of what, a foot, your own foot in between. That's a very comfortable place for most people, but it's a very strong stance. That's what we're looking for. Naturally strong. The toes turned out. Look at where my knee wants to go. It's going to collapse right through the middle. But if I'm turned in, I have a lot of strength in this front knee. So if 70% of my weight is here, I don't want that knee to be collapsed. Okay. So let's pick it up from crane. Let's pick it up from crane and do that again. So we went crane, and we'll do those three, one brush knee, peepaw, three brush knees. So here's stay back, brush knee and strike. Slide that hand up and peepaw. And that's the closing movement. With that, the hand continues around and around. Ooh, there's that quick kick. Brush knee and strike. Pivot, push through, stay back. Everybody come back on that back leg. It's the left side that causes more people the problem. Let your left toe actually turn out this way, most of the way. So that when I'm back here, as I start to push, there's that spin. I don't want to arrive in this stance here. I don't want to arrive here to here. I lose all of that twisting movement from the back leg. There's where that strength comes through. And then pivot again. Stay back. Brush knee and strike. And step up and play the peepaw. And high pat on horse. Around into hammer hand. Down to step up. Parry to block. And punch to strike. Now, under the elbow, back to the face. Nice breath. Back to push. And peek back. See what's happening back here before you turn back. Fan through back and embracing moon and water. And cross hands. And that's section one. Step in. Nice breath in. Nice long breath out. Releasing areas of tension through the sides, through the shoulder, through the thought. And a big ah internally. And rest. Yeah, I can't emphasize how important it is to see section one truly being all you need in the world of Tai Chi. When Chen Manqing came to America back in the 50s, he looked at this long, long set, 108 movements, 96 movements, whatever they counted it as. And he looked at the American people who were learning this and he went, no way. Just no way. They don't have the focus. They don't have that kind of concentration. They don't have the, why would I want to do this yet? You know, this was all new to Americans. So he took this long set and shortened it up and shortened it up and condensed it into what's called the short set, short form. And 36 movements common for the short form. From 108, one of the things he took out of there was all these repetitions of grasping sparrow's tail. This becomes a sad thing to not have in there 8 or 9 times, because you get so good at just moving with these. You don't have to think about them anymore. And there's your Tai Chi. I'm not thinking about it anymore. I'm listening to my hands. I'm feeling my breath turning through my body. I'm smiling. So you get that feeling as you practice. And as I say, Chen Manching just figured that most people don't have the time, the interest, the ability to learn all that. Once they learned it, many of those same students that he taught went on, said, I want to learn the long form. I want to do the whole thing. And that's what I encourage. Learn section 1. If you can do section 1 on your own, you've got something that's so much more valuable than being able to follow along and do all of the Tai Chi form, because you don't do Tai Chi in that way. Okay. So we have that part of section 1 to all break down for you, for new people, for people viewing in. Let's go and take the first part of section 2 then today. We talked a little bit about this in an earlier class, where we went from here at cross hands, and that toe adjusted, that heel adjusted as the hand pressed down. I adjust the heel and I adjust the toe as I press down again. So stretch it out actually through the legs. This is sometimes called mountain climbing stance. So you're here, you can feel that there's a lot of push out through that back leg. It's not a locked leg, but there's a lot of twist that goes through the leg, through the waist, through the spine, through the arm. And then we come all the way back to this side. We've got the just foot, so tiger to mountain. His head goes down, his butt goes out. And here we are with those 4 movements again of grasping sparrow's tail. And just listen to the body, listen to the breath. And single whip follows, but we're going to go from a corner all the way around to the corner. And then look through the 3rd corner, setting up on that back leg and through. Let's take that again. I just want to explain one thing. We did this a couple of times ago. From this position, we went press, press, punch. And that punch comes right through the middle and extends out. Soft elbow, soft shoulder. And then we did it again where we went press, press, and punch. So this is a nice way to see what we're doing here. And then we go back in here. Oh, yes. Carry tiger to mountain. And ward off. Roll back. Press. Clearing. And push. 4 corners to get to single whip. 1, 2. Now 3 is to get you on your back leg, aligned, stepped, and then expand. Okay. 460, weight is back. This is a great way to get strength to develop slowly in the legs. We're just holding this. This would be 460 by the, but 80-20, I would certainly agree. Shoot through, step through, turn the foot and the hand over the top, and looking fist under elbow. If you raise that front toe up, again, it reminds you that your weight is more on your back foot. Right, so your weight is on your back foot, which means it's easy then to simply pick up that foot, step back and reach out, pull in, push out. So many pieces of yin and yang can be found in this movement of retreat and repulse the monkey. So we ended up here. It's easy for me to stay back here, reach out, pull in, push away. There's the deflection again. Here's the hand coming up, ear and knee, step back, reach out, pull in, and extend down. And this is done 3 times, so we go one more. Ear and knee, pull in, step back. And what you see with that hand coming out, so if you come to this place and you have this hand out, as I'm stepping back, this hand naturally turns over. Do that again. As you step back, look at what you just did. You created this natural twist into my arm. And it's these natural movements that most people on this side of the equation are going to go, what? What was that? How did that happen? And then you take advantage to that pull and you go, bam, ooh, 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 I didn't hit you so hard. But you see how the form starts to create its natural strength. We all have seen the old movie of the Karate Kid with wax on, wax off, all of those lovely movements. And this is, in a sense, just exactly. You get used to step. All right. So let's pick it up from the beginning of 2 again. I'll get to this side so you guys can see a little easier. So here's press, left and right. There's the punch ready to roll through. As I step in, and I go low and high, and then that right hand shoots out again. We're grasping sparrow's tail, right. 4 movements. Single whip, going corner, all the way around corner, corner, and open. 460. Shoot through, step through, turn and looking fist under elbow. Now watch, here we are. That left hand is turned over and pulls in. Block, deflect, pull and turn in. Block, deflect, kick, grab and turn in. Then we'll add a corner and around and under. Nice. Step up, just for flying, slanting and flying, slanting and flying. This is said to be a rooster. They don't fly very well. As he flies across the river, and he just makes it to the other side. So you can always feel like that, oh, I just made it to the other side. Adds a little bit of that adrenaline. Oh, did I make it over the river? All right, and so from here, slanting and flying, we'll take it into step up. This is a really nice place to finish for today. Coming up and down, front and back. Nice, big, work that twist. Come under, and we do step up and upper hand. Walk it back in. Yeah. Thank yourself for good practice today. I explained at the end of class on Sunday, a really nice place, not necessarily that has come out of the Tai Chi world itself, but just the experience of the spirituality of the practices that we have. To be able to finish with this thought of being guided in your thoughts, and being guided in your speech, and being guided from the actions of your heart. Why, you can't ask for much more incredible practice if you can experience all of this in just an hour. And then to finish the class, we always return and say, thank you for coming. And to each person, turn in a group to the left and a group to the right. Because the class would be nothing without you. It truly would. The energies that get brought in from each and every one of you, the questions you bring, makes the class. Thank you. All right. See you next Tuesday. Yeah, I talked to Kelly about it again, and she said they want to look at the first ones. They're going to send them over to me. We're going to look at the first ones. Did we get all the stuff of that warm up? Will this be a class that they'll use for another part of that warm up that we did this morning? Another way to do that warm up. Some people just go, if I want to look at something, I want to look at this. This is much better for me. And some people want to go, oh, my knees, this feels so good when I do my knees. So we think we're going to get that online through YouTube. Yeah, well, as you see, let's stick around for just a minute. Let's just do that whole thing again. And some people went on and did section 2 and section 3. Sunday morning at 9:30, if it's possible. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, I know. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So get over there. You'll see so much better from there. Yeah.
And when we finished it,
Yeah.
I could feel the relaxation in my back. I could feel the bones of my back.
Letting go. I know.
A real awakening.
Oh, that's lovely. And you know, we talked, I think, about this position as being one that was being taught by back surgeons because it was helping people not to need back surgery. Yeah, so this is a practice to keep you out of trouble. Thank you. Oh, how nice.